Hello, YouTube. Good evening. My name is Leonardo, and tonight the topic is sex. And to talk about this topic with me are Bruna, Fernanda, and Antonio. Please, Bruna, can you introduce yourself and talk about sex with friends? Is a taboo for you or not?
Hello, guys. I'm Bruna. I live in São Paulo with my family. I work as a community manager and as an English teacher. I I like dancing. I like studying. Um, I don't know, going out with my friends. And yeah, I think that's a summary about me. And I would say nowadays it's not anymore. I think I don't know, when I started college, my friends weren't that comfortable to like talk about that, and we didn't use to talk about it that much. Then yeah, but I think nowadays with my friends it's not a taboo anymore, thank God. I think it's much better every year, more mature and older too, and it's not, I don't know, it's not weird anymore. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you said something really interesting, and now we are more mature. When we were kids, we just talk sex for fun, and it's it's not just for fun. It's really interesting subject is, and it's serious. And you, Antonio, please introduce yourself and talking about sex with friends is a taboo for you.
Hello, good evening. I am Antonio. I have 23 years old and I study chemistry. So, about the question, among my friends, this topic is more normal to talk about it, but of course, talk about it with my parent or family, it is so uncomfortable. I think that there are a big taboo between the family, but between the friends, it's okay, it's normal.
Yeah, there are some groups uh, who are easy to talk about it, this topic, and are others who are not that easy. Until Fernanda.
My name is Fernanda. I live in São Paulo. I work as a financial analyst. I like sleeping, stay with my family, and study languages. About the question, for me, it's a taboo because normally I don't talk about it with my friends. Actually, I don't have a lot of friends, so normally I talk about uh, work or those stuff that are not taboo. So for me, it's it's not a thing that I talk with my friends.
Great. So welcome, and let's discuss about this topic, Fernanda. And my name is Leonardo. I am 27 years old. I'm from Belém do Pará, but I've been living in São Paulo since 2017, and I've been a host here since last year. And to me, talk about sex, it's not a taboo anymore. But when I was young, it was really hard, especially because of my sexuality. I'm gay, and I cannot. When I was young, I it was not able to talk. I wasn't able to talk about it because of if someone just started to talk this topic, I was just Jesus. They will figure it out that I'm gay, so I just avoid this topic in my life for a long time. But now it's not a taboo anymore. I can talk with my friends about sex, pleasure, and erection, and many topics that are amazing to discuss. So, Antonio, did you said that it's something that we can discuss in many groups, but there are some groups that it's not that easy to discuss about. And I want to know from you how important is to talk about your sex with your friends, family, or the closest ones.
Uh, in my opinion, it's so important to talk about sex with friends, family, mainly, and professionals, for example, doctors, because sex, this is a topic that it's probably to happen some problems or questions. And normally, when we don't talk about it, we will learn alone. And in this case, it's maybe to happen problems or I don't know equívocos, because it is so difficult to discover these things alone, or to know that one thing is normally, oh no, it's not normally. And when we don't talk about it, it's difficult to share one problem. For example, in there are persons that in the doctor don't talk about the sex, and for this reason there are many diseases problems in health. For this reason, don't talk to have afraid about this topic.
Yeah,
That's it.
great points, Antonio. And of course, when we discuss about a sex, it's not just about the act. It's also about how to do it in a safe way, how to make it pleasure. So it's important to study and also talk with a specialist in this area. Great, Antonio, thanks. I think Bruno is not here. So, Fernanda, it's up to
I
you.
am. Can you hear?
Yeah, yes, I can hear
Oh,
you.
sorry. Maybe I don't know what's happening. My connection is terrible, so I'll be with my camera off. So I will just answer that. Well, I totally agree with what Antonio was saying. It's really important to like discuss it with our family or someone who is close to us. But at the same time, I think the family usually don't give us some space to do this, and it's a bit uncomfortable. You know, we don't feel we have the space to do this. So it's really weird. It's a bit lonely too, because you're like learning things on your own. In general, the internet, I think nowadays can help a lot. You know, like if you know where to find like trustful sources. But it's really nice what you said, Leo, about going to a doctor. You know, like sometimes the doctor can help more than someone who is like close to us, and it's not a professional. And also, I think it's good to go to someone who is who knows about it. You know, yeah, that's it.
Great, Bruna. Yeah, and I totally agree with you about the internet. I think that it's a good a good source of information, and when you know where to where to search about. And you, Fernanda.
I agree with everyone. I think that it's important to talk about it with friends to maybe to change experiences and see the point of view. according to some situations, that maybe you have one doubt and other person can help you with that. And also it's important to go to a specialist to see what's going on, and also do not have more doubts, or try to not have more doubts about it.
Yeah, I think that especially with our friends, it's comfortable to talk about this topic, so we can, as I said, share on our experience and try to understand better with them about this topic. So they are good to discuss about it. And guys, basically sex happens in a relationship. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship, but it happens in a relationship that you have with someone. And I want to know from you, does good sex matter in a relationship? And is it the main thing to keep a good and healthy relationship or not? Bruna.
Good question. I think it matters. I don't think it's everything. I think I believe that at first you may need to connect a little bit, and it's not going to be 100% comfortable, but you are going to learn from each other and like not teach, but share the things you like, and like the other person is going to tell you what they like too, and then it like you are going to like find a balance, and then yeah, I think it's important to to keep things excited, exciting, but it's not the main thing. I think there are other things too. It's not everything. I know, like sometimes it's hard because the connection is so good that you're like, oh, I need to be in this place because this person just matches so much with me. But I don't think it's everything. Yeah, we have other things.
Perfect, Bruna. I totally agree with you that the first time it's not perfect. So it's necessary communication. We feel comfortable with someone. So then can be better. And you, Antonio?
So I agree with you, Bruna. I think that the good sex is important for the two persons, but if the first time it's not good, it's necessary to talk about it, to communicate it, just to say what is good or not for you, for the other person to know, because it is difficult. I don't know what is bad for me, and the other person need to know what I think. No, I think that nobody is a magic, or they are so adivinhação. And if the two persons loves, it's necessary this moment to share what you think about it, what you don't think, and that's it.
Great points, Antonio. Thanks for sharing. And so, Fernanda.
I agree with you all. I think it's not the most important thing. It's important the respect and the communication with your partner, but also it's important. Sex is important in a relationship because it's like a expression of love, maybe, and a way of keeping the things exciting between the couple. And it's also communicate. It's also important that both people talk about it if something it's not good in the relationship, what can be improved. It's important, this communication also.
Yeah, great point, Fernanda. Yeah, I totally agree with you all. I think that it's really important communication during relationships, especially about sex, that so we can know each other better and it can help in everything, especially mainly with sex. And Fernanda, what do you think about sex just for reproduction? No pleasure involved. Does it exist?
I think it's not right. It should not be done because if sex can give you pleasure and those stuff, why should you just use it for reproduction? I think reproduction is a consequence, but it should not be the focus, I think. It's my opinion.
Yeah, I have to say that sometimes in some case, it's a bad consequence. So it's not everyone that's what it's. And you, Bruno.
Yeah, I think I think it's terrible. It's really sad, actually. I think I don't know, like probably it exists, right? In some relationship, but I don't agree with it. It's complicated because it involves a lot of things, right? Like in general religion and things like that. So it's hard to judge, but at least for me, it does. I think it wouldn't work, and I think it just going a little bit deeper, it reinforces the idea of not having pleasure and just like a woman is just born to reproduce, and it's not every woman who wants to be a mother. So I think it's a bit delicate to reinforce these things, Yeah.
Yeah, there are many things involved in this question, and especially that when we talk about no pleasure involved, it's just for women. It's not just for men. So it's really complicated. And you, Antonio, what do you think?
It's an interesting question. The 5 questions, correct? So, about the biological point of view, the sex is so important to reproduction. But in the same biological point of view, the sex involves pleasure. It's parts integrate. One thing produces other. For this reason, I don't see one sex without pleasure. If you don't have it, they are a problem. They are a problem between the persons. So it's difficult to develop a relationship with other person, have bad sexes without pleasure, just reproduction. I know that in the religion concepts, there is so common, but I don't see a healthy relationship in the situation.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that this conception can bring, especially because of the LGBT community who make sex without reproduction. In my case, it's just for pleasure. Yeah, and I love it. So there's no problem. And I think that it's okay make sex just for pleasure and without idea of reproduction. As Bruna said, there are some cases that women don't want to be pregnant, and so there's no problem have sex at the same time. So guys, you've all said that communication it's something really important. So you can say that if it's good, if it's not, and what can be better. So Antonio, what is the role of communication within sexy? Does it matter for you or your partner?
The communication during the acting.
Yes.
So really, I don't know. I don't know an opinion about it. So I don't know what to say.
There is no problem. Yeah, sometimes we just say go to left, go to right, and let's do it. Great, Antonio. Thanks. And you, brother.
Yeah, no, it's nice what you said, like, because I don't like, it's interesting because I'm really talkative, and I don't like, I don't like to talk too much, no, during sex. So I just avoid like talking too much, and but it's good to use these strategy to indicate the things you like, otherwise you are going to be suffering for an amount of time, and I think it doesn't work if you don't communicate, if you don't say if you're liking it or not, if it's good that way or not. I think it's a moment where both needs to be comfortable, no? So it's really important, but it's hard at the same time. I think when I started, I didn't know how to say or how to tell the other person the things I wanted or I like it. So it's I think I learned and I've been learning too. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sometimes we feel ashamed of say what we want during the sex, but there is no problem. Sometimes people ask, and sometimes people just wait for the other person ask something. So I think that uh, the communication is a key. And you, Fernanda, what do you think?
I think during the act, it's complicated. Maybe we don't talk a lot, but I think it's important to align with your partner. What do you like and what do you do not like? So it can be better for both. That's it.
Yeah, great. I think that before, during, and after, it's always good to have this communication. Sometimes I think that it can be aligned before, and when it's happening, we can do more signals. It's also good signals. So you cannot say, but you can give some signs that it's good or it's not that good. Uh, and after, I think that you can give some feedback. I think this is the idea. Great, guys. So, why do you think that some people are ashamed or embarrassed of talk about the sex. Why do you think this happens, Bruna?
Well, I think when we're talking about sex, we're talking about intimacy, right? So first of all, you need to, it's like you are being the most vulnerable you can, like, because you're going to be naked, you're going to be in a, I don't know, in a situation that nobody has seen you. And also because you may like some, like, there are some people who change the way they are in real life and like the way they are in bed. Then they use this moment as a free as a moment to free themselves, to be who they want to be, or to do the things they want to. Yeah, so I think this can be some of the reasons. And yes, and I think it's still a taboo, to this can be also another thing.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a topic that is discussed just about men, just about the men views. So what matters is direction, is how many partners he has. So it's not about pleasure exactly. So yeah, it's becomes
Good
embarrassing to
point.
talk about it. And so Fernanda, what do you think?
I think it's normally because it's related to our intimacy, as Bruna said. So maybe we cannot feel comfortable to talk about it. And maybe we can think that people will ask about a lot of details, so we can feel ashamed. So that's why I think.
Yeah, and it's pretty common, especially about the LGBT communities. People ask about it, and who is the active, who is the passive, and the curiosity about the transgender's bodies. So there are many situations that there are some really embarrassing questions that doesn't matter to anyone. And you, Antonio, what do you think?
So I think this person normally feel embarrassing talking about sex because this is a thing of the private life, and mainly because for a long time the morality and the religion treat the thing, the topic, like wrong thing. Talk about it is a sin, pecado. For this reason, in the family, between the persons, in the relationship, feels so shy to share about this thing, to talk about these things, and for me, depend the person who I talk, because there are situations, there are persons when I feel comfortable to talk about it, to talk about these questions, but there are others when I am not, I don't not, I don't like to talk it like it. For example, with my parents, my families, because I feel that they still have more taboo about it. They are they think more with the religion concepts. So I feel that the conversation it's not a good thing for with the, and that's it.
Great. Yeah, and there are some people who are more traditional about this topic, who are not that open to discuss about. And as you all said, it's about the intimacy. So it's not everybody that wants to talk about it. And about me, I think that it was really embarrassed and I really avoided, especially because I'm gay and it was really hard to, especially when the boys asked me, hey, where is the girls? So there are no girls, guys. So I like a boy. So it's really ashamed. So, and after that, I came out, it started the questions. Oh, are you passive? Are you bottom? What do you like to do in this relationship? So there are some questions that we don't feel so much comfortable to discuss with everybody. So there are some people who will feel comfortable and there's no problem. We just started to talk. But there are others who we we built some barriers to talk about it. So I think that uh, sometimes we just need to discuss about it with the ones we feel comfortable. So guys, okay, so now we're talking about it, sex exactly, but I want to know from you, what do you think that is something that makes someone be sex or not, be attractive to you or not? Antonio, I will start with you.
What the question?
What do you think is something that makes someone be sex or not?
So, the voice. I don't know the voice, the person. Um, I cannot describe, but the way with one person talk, it's more sexy. I don't know describe it. And the way with the person look, the eyes and the voice, depend the situation is more interesting. That's it.
Great, you like the sounds, yeah, the voice, the timbre. It's really interesting. And you, Fernanda?
Oh. I think the voice also, and maybe the humor. If the person makes me laugh, it's important for me. And maybe the appearance, don't know. But the characteristics are more important for me. It's like it's not just one thing, like a lot of things, and then it becomes a sexy person.
Great. Yeah, it's just like the sex in a relationship. It's not the only thing that's matter. It's just one thing. And you, Bruna?
Yeah, I don't think the voice is the most important thing for me, but Faye said something about making us laugh. I think that's definitely something that makes me think, or that I see. And I think, oh, that's sexy, like someone who is really nice, who is a good friend, like that you can talk easily. Oh gosh, if the person knows how to keep a conversation, it's just like amazing. But besides this, I think the touch, if they, like, while you're kissing, if they know how to touch you. I don't know how to explain, like how to hold and how to, yeah. I think this is really, like, really sexy. That's it.
Yeah, the about the funny person, it just reminds me the meme. Oh, é feio e daí engraçadinho.
Yes,
Oh,
that's it.
it was terrible. I think in my case, it's the money. I'm looking for a sugar daddy. So no, I'm just kidding. I think that in my case, at least at the first moment, it's the appearance. I have to say this, especially because I use it to use the dating apps. So the first contact, it's a picture. So what it really matters to you is that picture. So I have to say that the appearance is really important to me. And then we can start a conversation. And if it's good, something can happen or not. So I think that appearance and communication are the first and second steps to have something more or not. Great, guys. So Bruna and Fernanda, a few moments before, they talk about a difference about what man and women feels in that moment. So I want to know from you if women and men have equal sexual experience or not. What do you think about it, Fernanda?
I think that women normally don't maybe cannot feel comfortable to talk if something is not good in that moment. We normally think, oh, it's in general, people think it's important men, like, oh, if the man likes, okay, it's okay. But but I think it's changing, but there is still a way to, like, there is still things to be changed related, like women need to talk if something it's not okay in this moment. So I think it's more difficult for us, but it's changing.
Yeah, great point. I think that, um, as you said, sometimes women just don't feel comfortable to discuss. So I think that you are right. And you, Bruna, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and I started to think of a lot of things here, because I can see two sides. Like women maybe don't feel comfortable to say the things they want at first, and don't know how to give them self pleasure, how to how to do things on their own. I think we are not taught how to focus on our pleasure, so this is difficult. So I think this influences to when you are there in like during the sex. And for men, just like Phil was saying, they are expected to be in control and to perform, and are really influenced by porn, and these can influence to the relationship for like both, right? So I think that I'm going too deep, but it's not easy for men too. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sometimes it's basically a social problem because men and women don't know exactly what to do, especially because men is based on porn. Their experience are all related to porn, who are not a place where we can learn how to do it. Oh, it's a mess. And you, Antonio, what do you think?
Excuse me, could you repeat the question, please?
Men, do you think that men and women have a equal sex experience?
So between the men is more common, but I think that today there are many men that understand that the thing is so wrong. This is obvious, but I think that the message, the idea about it, it's more how can I say, cleanly, mais clara. And today, in reason of the social medias, the other person who talk about it. So I think that there are a lot men who think who do it, but I believe that reduce the situation. I don't know. I don't have the certeza. I don't know sure, but I believe it. That it's unless in compare with the person, of course.
Great, guys. So I think that we have time to the last question. Fernanda, did your parents talk to you about this topic?
Nope. They did not talk about this topic with me. And normally, what is more related to this, my mom say, oh, you need to be safe in this moment, take care to not be pregnant, those stuff, but related to the act and something like that, I normally do not talk with my parents.
Yeah, I understand you. Basically, in my family, it's the same. And you, Antonio?
If my parents talk to me about the sexes,
Yes.
never, and never. I don't have the conversation about this topic. Thanks God, I have the teachers. No, I thank God because I have teachers who talk about it, talk the questions more problematic, and the questions that it's normally not the teens normally have about it. And I have also the information by social medias, the books, the sciences books, that help me to understand about it and to do a knowledge, interesting knowledge about it, and help me, because if I depend of my parents, today I think that I não saberia nothing about it. And that's it.
Yeah. And yeah, you said something really interesting because your parents don't talk about this subject with you, but you have some others truthfully source of information. So it's really good when you have some good places that can help you with this. And you, Bruna.
Yeah, just like Matheus and Fê, no. The talk didn't happen, unfortunately. I think it's important to have this talk, but I know at the same times, I don't know, parents may feel uncomfortable like talking about that, so I understand a little bit. And yes, just like Matheus was, Antonio was saying, I think it's good because we can count on other people or found trustful sources nowadays. So this is good, Yeah, unfortunately not.
Yeah, and in my case, it's the same. My parents don't talk about this subject with me. I think that now that I'm grow, they give some signals. Oh, be careful. Use the condoms, but they are not really open to talk about it. And I think that they don't want to talk about it. And to me, it's perfect because I'm not open to talk about this subject with them as well. So there is no problem. So guys, before finish this conversation, I really ask to you answer this survey, please. It helps me a lot. So please do it. And guys, that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed this conversation. And I really hope to see you here again next week, Antonio. It's your first time here, and I hope
Thank
to see you
you.
here again. And the gears, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, Fernanda and Bruna. So,
Thank you. See you next week, guys. Thank you.
see
Have
you
a great
all.
night. Bye.